G'day, Wendy. The champion's here too. Yo, yo. How are you, Marnie? I can see you. Where are you, Wendy?
G'day.
G'day. I can hear you, but I can't see you. That's all right if you don't have camera. All right. I'm just going to fire this thing up. Mine said Monday. Just check this in here. Share group. There we go. All right. Who we got? Just three of us. I've just been on a call. I didn't get to see any messages. All right. We are live, being live streamed. Got it. Perfect. Hey guys, Scotty Z, joined with some beautiful people. Look at Wendy, Phyllis, and Marnie Champion. Aren't these beautiful people? Aren't we blessed to have beautiful people in our lives? Hello. Say hello, Absolutely. Guys.
G'day, everyone.
So we are live in the Integral Freedom Group, which is only a small group so far. I've got 66 members in there. I kept changing the name, and I'm probably going to change the name again. I'm a bit like that. I'm the kind of person that my road is not straight. My journey of life meanders. Do you guys have some of that as well? Life meanders? Yeah. And yes. I'll ask those guys that are watching as well. Give me a yes in the chat if your life meanders, if it hasn't been a straight line. Like, I'm envious sometimes of the people that they meet their childhood sweetheart, in high school, and they're married, and then they move into a career. Good on you, Wendy. They move into a career, and then they just have this like focus, this just dedicated focus in the one direction. And I'm not talking a miserable career, like something that they love. They're building a business that they love. They've built a family. They got all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm fucking jealous of that. I want some of that. Mine's like all over the place. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done this. And everyone's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm figuring myself out. I'm absolutely figuring myself out. And so today's topic that I want to dive in with you guys, and for those people who keep coming in, is very much about this. I was just having a conversation with a beautiful friend, James, who I've known for many, many years. And he said, oh, I've been watching you, Scotty. And it's like, oh, he's always up to something. He's always up to something. I was like, yeah, man, I'm following my heart, right? I'm following my heart. And there is g'day, Pete. There is a balance that needs to be sought in who we are as these integral mentors. G'day, Veronica. Or these future awakening leaders, right? Whatever you want to call us, whoever we are in your mind's eye, the way showers, the light workers, right? There's so many names that we've been called. There's a balance to be sought between living from intuition and living from a structure of the mind or a paradigm of the mind. The world that we currently live in is controlled by the mind. Business, for example, right? Those that are most successful in business have a great business plan usually, and they just execute on that plan over and over again without deviation. I watch some of these guys on YouTube, and they're like, excuse my language, they're like, F your emotions. You're like, fuck your emotions. Just do it. Just grind it. Just crush it, right? Crush the competition. Blah, 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 blah. All this nonsense, right? For me, it's nonsense. But for them, they're running $100 million companies, right? They may be miserable. They may be absolutely miserable. But in the world of business, which is dominated by that mind, they are winning, right? It's even in the word busyness. G'day, Siobhan. Busyness, right? We've been tricked. Life is not to be about being busy. Why do you want to be busy? I want to be peaceful. I want to be happy. I want to feel joy and love, and like I'm contributing in a way that adds value to other people. Give it a little sparkle there if you guys agree with that, right? Like, that's who we are. Yeah, the money game is part of the game, right? But I'm not here to buy Lamborghinis. I just want to build a beautiful home for my family, right? And live in connection, in harmony with community. Like, that's what this is about. Yeah, right? So I feel that, again, this conversation of the balance between following our intuition and that guidance that we have inside. And at the same time, recognizing that we have one foot in this world of busyness, of finance, of the marketplace and economy and competition, because that's what the marketplace is really. We have one foot in that. And I even see some of the faces change, right? My face changes when I say it. It's like, oh, there has to be that element, because we are, again, we're the bridge, right? We're the bridge between these worlds. I have a deep belief that let's say my grandchildren, who I'll definitely be around to be playing with, my grandchildren will come of age in a world that is very different to the world that we're living in, right? A world where it is beautiful and we're living in harmony with nature and we're helping each other. Now, maybe not everybody on the planet, but certainly the ones that I'll be hanging around with, right? The millions of people that are waking up right now and saying, I am here to be free. So they won't have to worry about a lot of this stuff. The decaying of an old system, right? The death throes of a system that's trying to turn us into slaves. They won't have to deal with this, but we do. And so my point of this little rant is finding the balance between this new future, which is a heart-based future. Would you guys agree with that? Like the future that's calling us is to live in love, is to be in integrity with who we really are, right? And we're still discovering all of who we are. But I feel that we all recognize that who we really are is an essence of love. We are part of this divine experience, right? We can all agree to at least those parameters. You can put whatever else you want around it, but who we are in our soul or in our spirit or in our divine self is love, right? Or again, whatever words you want. So we're bringing that forward. And at the same time, we're in this game, right? We're in this game. I've found, and I position this for you guys to reflect on as well, that I can sometimes get really down on myself because I don't have it all figured out in terms of the business structure, or I don't have it all figured out in terms of exactly what I'm here to do in this life. Although I have this intuitive knowing that I'm here to serve people. I'm here to help people. I'm here to make a difference with people. I'm a mentor, right? Thank you, Veronica. I'm a mentor in that I've not walked an easy path. Nod your head if you guys are the same, right? Like I've walked a path that there's people who are working just normal lives and just keeping their head down. They wouldn't even be able to make it. You know, they'd be crying on the side of the road, right? So that's who we are. That's who we are. And so there's this calling to be like, I know that I'm here to be myself, to be free without the confines of this manipulated, controlled, very sick society. And part of me being who I am is being a member of community is I'm here to serve other people. I'm here to help other people with who I am. So I got that bit figured out, right? But then there's this journey, this meandering journey of me and my path of being me, right? Who here is, this is not your first rodeo of like, maybe you've done a counseling course, I know someone's done, or a nutrition course, hello, or you've done some coaching or some healing or some other stuff before. Anyone? Yeah? Anyone? Yeah, me too, definitely, right? And so we can tend to get hard on ourselves, good on you, Pete, tend to get hard on ourselves and say, why aren't I like the successful business person who has the strategy, who has the structure, who has the business plan all mapped out on paper with my quarterly goals and, you know, my yearly revenue targets and all of this stuff. And I'm saying that, yeah, they have a place, Wendy's face, but remembering the momentum and the direction where we're going. We are one foot in this world, and we are one foot straddling into this new world of love, of harmony, of following our heart. We all got here because we followed our heart, yes or no? Right? We all followed our heart to get here. Exactly. We had a few businesses, but always followed my heart and soul. Exactly. That's who you are, right? That's who you are. This is who we are. So just be very kind to yourself. And I say this to myself as well, right? Be very kind to yourself to not get down on yourself about not having it all figured out, or about how many of these different things that I've done, or these businesses I've tried, or this coaching certificates I've got, or these, you know, healing courses I've done, or the black and how many personal development courses I've been to, and I still don't have this shit figured out, right? And as soon as we start getting into that negative mindset, we start spiraling into the I'm not good enough. attitude, right? And that pit where we all find ourselves, who else has found ourselves in I'm not good enough? Who else has been there in the last maybe month, right? Maybe over the moons sort of fuck with me, excuse my language, because those moons can be intense, man, right? And we start going into the spiral and we got to catch ourselves and be like, whoa, cycle back up, right? So again, you've got to notice when you're starting to go into that cycle and what leads you into that cycle of I'm not good enough and that self-doubt. Because in this game of sharing, in this game of putting your hand out and helping other people, the number one thing that is going to mess you up and stop you from taking action is that, oh, I'm not good enough. Who would listen to me? Why haven't I got all this fucking figured out yet? I'm X, Y, and Z. I'm blah, 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 not good enough, right? Whatever the story is you got around it, I'm not good enough. You'll be on the couch eating a bucket of ice cream, or for me, it's chocolate. Smash the chocolate. Poor chocolate. No, I just binge that chocolate, right? And feeling down on myself. And yet I'm getting better at being able to turn myself around. And it starts with preempting that it's coming. Veronica's getting, hey, Tammy. Hello, Toro as well. Hello, darling. Good to see you. Hello. Right? So it's preempting it and making sure that we don't get there. And then what do we do after we get there? Right? So, and I don't have all the answers. I'm going to open this up to you guys as well and start to ask you what you've found that's working for you. But one thing that I am saying is I recognize in me is if I can avoid the spiraling down of my thought pattern around why haven't I got it? Sorry, my wife is calling me. Why haven't I got it all figured out yet? If I can catch myself and trust that the unknown future is pulling me forward, because it's unknown and it's more unknown now than ever before. The unknown future is pulling me forward faster than the known past is pushing me or is guiding me, right? Or another way to say it, I am being guided into the unknown future with more certainty than I am being guided by the known past. Do you guys see where I'm coming from? Because then that dialogue with myself, that I'm allowing the unknown to pull me forward, it only comes from here, because the unknown you can't know because it's unknown, and you know here, right? But the guidance, the future is being pulled from here, right? And then the body goes along with either one, right? So the unknown future is pulling me forward. That intuition has more power than the logical mind with its lessons from the past. You guys feel what I'm saying? This is the future for us, right? Because then we take the weight of burden off about I don't have it all fucking figured out, because I'm a way shower into a future that is like completely unknown, and I'm just showing up and doing my best to be an amazing guide for people into their future. I don't have to have it all figured out, because the future self that is pulling me to become has it all figured out already. So now I'm not basing my self-identity from a world and also a past version of me, but I'm basing my self-identity off a future version that I can feel and intuit is beautiful and strong and kind, and insert the adjective, right? Whatever it is for you that you are becoming. That future version knows and is pulling me. What a beautiful way to live. And that is how all creation really happens. Anyone done art before? Got out a bit of paper, started to draw or paint, right? You don't know what's there. You got some skills, you know how to brush, you know how to stroke, whatever. I don't personally, it's pretty hard for me, but you got a bit of paper, and then you're trusting that that piece of paper is going to be filled with inspiration. It's pulling you into that unknown. Life is art, right? Life is art. So I position that for you guys today to think about is, can we take the weight off our shoulders of I've got to have it figured out, and actually move into the allowing of the unknown to pull us into who we're becoming. Love that metaphor. Beautiful. To pull us into who we're becoming. And as we're surrendering to the heart instead of allowing the mind to be the dictating force of our life, the mind can then settle into what it's designed to be, and that is a tool of creation and not the master of creation. Because the master of creation is love, great spirit, divine. Jehovah, Allah, God, Gaia. I don't mind, mate, whatever. It doesn't matter. That essence of who we really are is the divine creator. That's pulling us forward. The body, from the Dantian, right? The chakra system, you got the 7 chakra. Hey, Helen. And the mind are the tools of creation. That's why they sit around the heart, right? The body and the mind, the brain was sit around the heart. You got the 7 chakra, then you got the top ones, right? I'll go with chakras another day, but they're here to serve. So take the weight of burden off having to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all figured out. All right. And especially where we're going and taking people with us, by you reaching your hand back and saying, come with me, I can guide you even into the mist. I can see a few steps into the mist. I will guide you. And I'm setting this up for you guys, especially the newbies here, because you're about to hit the ground running, right? You're going to have to let go of having it all figured out. You're not going to see the end of the road. It's impossible to see the top of the mountain. It's clouded by mist. But you got to have faith that you are being pulled into that future rather than relying on what you know. You guys with me on that? And that's going to be uncomfortable because you have been conditioned since you were little to know, to understand, to logically decipher and dictate how your life should be. And now we are knowing in ourselves, not because Scotty's saying it right now, because we know in our hearts that in our hearts, the future lies. You guys with me on that? And it's going to be scary for the mind. And the mind is going to want to hold you back. And the mind is going to say, no, drag it into the future. No, I won't go. Right. And you're like, fuck, what if I can't? What if I'm not good enough? What am I going to do then? What if it all doesn't work? Right. Okay, here it is. Let's go. Take the next step. Take action. Put myself out there. Invite others with the journey, because it's like, remember going down a water slide when you were a kid? And if you all piled up the water and then you all went together, it went really fast, like that momentum, or you all gone on like a luge or something. Like we're doing this in the snow now. You know this, Helen, from the snow, right? And you get on the tire tube and you slide down. And when me and Andre are on together, man, we go so fast compared to little Andre by himself. When you come together with others, you gather momentum, right? It's more fun to be together, but you actually gather momentum. So for you guys right now, and this, I'm in the process with you myself, by you saying, come with me, jump on the bandwagon. Look, I don't have it all figured out, but that's okay because I know where we're going and I've got the next few steps figured out. Come with me. That momentum is going to push you further because you're at the front of the pack, because you're the leader of the pack. Right? And then it's all stops are gone and you're just going with the stream. You guys with me? So this is the journey. Can we trust? My wife is all over me. She doesn't know about the new Mondays. Sorry, darling, I'm teaching. So can you trust? Can we trust as these leaders of the future that the future knows more than the past will ever? Right? That the future can guide, right? So give us a little, can this be your new version of you? Yes? For those guys that are new, this is our way of celebrating, saying, yeah, right? Can you? Yes, we can, because that's what we were born for. And in our heart of hearts, we know that's the only way that we can live. And the body and the mind, it has to learn that this is how we live, right? It has to learn, not dictate. When the body says, I don't want to do this, we say, you're mine. Yes, you will. Please. I'm going to ask nicely, of course, because I love you. And at the same time, I need you to act right now. And when the mind's saying, you're not good enough, who do you think you are? You can't do that. You say, well, hang on a second. This is the guidance. This is the heart. Who's ever done that before? You're like, everyone around you's going, you're fucking crazy. Don't do it. And you're like, I know I'm crazy. It sounds stupid, but I just have to do it. Anyone else? Yes? Who lives like this? Right? Who lives like this? This is your life. Like everyone's going, don't do it. And you're in your mind going, man, this is the craziest thing ever. But I don't know why. I just have to do this. You guys, maybe some of you guys ended up here like that, right? You're like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here with this crazy dude and all these people, right? But it just feels right. It just feels right. Yeah. This is the journey. This is the journey for us. Okay. So look, I'm not here to rant on you guys. I'm here to connect with you. So I wanted to lay that foundation and I guess sort of bring a talking point about what we can expect on this journey individually and then collectively, because we will all go through very similar paths. Agree? Like we're very similar. We're all different in our own way and all of that, but we're very similar in that we're, you know, in who we are. Water drops, right? All the water drops are very different. All the snowflakes are unique, but they're all snowflakes at the same time. They're going to melt when they hit the warm pavement. I'm learning a lot about snow lately. So we can all grow together, right? We can all grow together in this journey. And so I want to pass it to you and ask, and please share your voice here. You know, for those guys that have been here a while, you know, this is coming second nature. And again, for the newbies, like share your voice, speak your truth. Know that you're in a space where you will be heard, where you will be honored for being yourself, right? Because I know sometimes being in front of a group of people and speaking can be intimidating, right? And you're like, I'll just sit back here and you just keep talking, Scotty. It's entertaining, right? Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, and that's not what we're here for. Yes, I enjoy that as well, but I want to hear your voice. So I open it up to you guys. In that essence of feeling intuition and trusting that the future knows better than the past, what comes up for you as we share that?
I'm happy to share. Is my mic working?
Yep.
Because it wasn't working earlier. Well, it's like, I don't know, it's like we're around this parallel journey, Scotty, because this is exactly where I found myself the last week or 2 weeks, really going, what I'm teaching and showing people is exactly this. It's the mystery of not knowing, right? Working with the feminine, with the dark feminine, it's like surrendering yourself completely to the mystery so that from there you can create something new that you don't even know what it is yet. And it's the scariest thing ever, right? Because we want to know something, but if we are going from what we know from the past, that what you were saying is that it's kind of predictable and it's still playing small. It's still kind of being safe. So like you said, it's like crazy. I keep asking myself, why do I always pick the hardest road? Why can't I pick the easy one? You know, why do I always throw myself to the deep end and go, yeah, I want to go all the way in? And then I'm thinking, oh shit, what was I thinking? But I can't do it any other way, because if I do it any other way and I play small and I play the old way and predictable, and that's why I said I had a few different businesses, and, you know, when the inspiration is there and I feel turned on when I'm working with people, and sometimes it's for years, I do it. And once that dies, I'm not going to keep doing it just because now I'm really good at it, because I've been doing it for so many years. Amazing. Because, you know, the passion isn't there. So I'm not serving those people and I'm not serving me either. So I can't do it, you know, and that's, my family just goes, when I started on this journey, somebody said to me, oh, I hope this is the one. And I just laughed and I said, it's always the one until it isn't. That's just the way it is. But they don't live like that, you know. For them, it's, you get the career and you stick with it no matter what, because yes, you become better at it and it becomes easier and it becomes complete comfort zone, and you on autopilot, you don't have to think anymore. Yeah. So people go, well, why would you put yourself in so much pain and all of this, right? And it's like, well, because I want to feel alive. That's why. So yes, it's scary, and yes, it's not comfortable, and yes, I will choose it, and I will choose it over and over again, because that's me walking my truth and growing and evolving and, you know, feeling alive. So that's all I can do. But yes, definitely not comfortable journey. So, you know.
Fascinating the languaging you're using. I'll pull out a couple of things. That's being alive and uncomfortable and growing. And if we look at life has to grow, and it's uncomfortable to grow, but that's life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, like you're saying, they stay in their lane. They don't have to think nor grow anymore, because they've got the skill set. They can show up and do it every day without having to actually be there and grow as a person. And that's what we've been tricked into believing, is that's the path. Don't just grow enough and then like be a bonsai tree. And then society will keep trimming you so you stay like munted or stunted, you know, like, so
Yeah.
you're just this big, you know. No, life is, how big can an oak tree grow? It can grow to the, you know, top of the forest and beyond.
Yes, and I love that beauty in that, you know, like I always say to people, like, don't think that you know me or that you know who I'm going to be when you meet me, because every time you meet me, I am a different person. Like, I'm going through so much change and shift and all the time. And I don't want you to think that, you know, when you see me, you can put me in a box, because that's how I was last time. I want you to look at me in the present moment in awe of what's in front of you, because that's how I look at you. Yeah. I have no expectations of what I'm going to get, because I know that I'm never getting the same person when I turn up somewhere, right? And to me, that's what it's about. It's like, that's growth. So that's my little rant.
That's a beautiful little rant. I see a lot of people agreeing. Jump in, guys. Come on, Marnie, you're off mute there. Come and share with us.
Yeah, I guess I can relate to what you said then a lot, you know, Veronica. Sometimes in the past I've thought that within myself I've been, you know, fake. But in hearing you share that, I've really understood something about myself. I can turn up and be, you know, not the same, but I'm being authentic. But I was, you know, the programming was, you know, that internal thing, like, yeah, I'm being fake because I'm being different. I'm not, you know, just walking the same line, because as Scotty, you were sharing when we first got on, you know, some people sort of, you know, marry, children, picket fence, career, and it's a straight line. But my life's been very, you know, it's meandered around everywhere. So, and if you don't have those experiences, you don't grow. You do become stagnant. And I'm really, really related to a lot of that. Yeah, it's good. Love
it. And it's thank you, Marnie, getting in there. Newbie, love it. That's what it's about. And it is, look, it's uncomfortable. Life is going to be uncomfortable. There's fucking no two ways about it, mate. It's going to be uncomfortable. If you want to grow...
Sorry, I interrupted again. Sorry.
I interrupted you. Go.
Life is hugely uncomfortable. Goes hand in hand with growth, as we all know. But, you know, you can duck and weave, but it's going to come and bite you on the ass, you know, sooner or later. Like, you can pretend that you're happy and you come home and it's, you know, Monday 9 till 5 and it's Friday and woohoo, we got the weekend. And, you know, some people deep down are miserable.
Yeah.
And it's just about honouring the best you can. And I've sort of found in life, I'm not anymore, but I've sort of been flickering in and out of that, you know, Monday 9 to 5, trying to sort of fit in. Look, I never have. Yeah. I've always been that different person and shot off around Australia, or, you know, single, no kids, and, you know, rah. And but yeah, I slightly lost my train of thought then. But
so the 9 to 5, the people that fit into that.
Yeah, I've tried to do that, you know, because that's what I thought you had to do. That's what I thought you had to do to,
right?
Be successful. Yeah, we were programmed from primary school, parenting, you know. So it's just really interesting.
And this is the scary part for most people now, who are like, the heart is bursting, right? Right now, the heart is bursting. Unfortunately, it's bursting for some people that are taking the vaccine, which is really fucking scary. And and that's not in a good way. And it's bursting energetically for those that are allowing this unfolding of divinity to manifest itself in this reality, to come through our hearts, right? And it is bursting. And yet the conditioning of body and mind is generational. It's like my grandparents were telling me to play small, stay in your lane, get a good job, get a good education, get a good job, save money, buy a house, get married, buy the 2 cars, blah, 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 fucking retire, travel around Australia in a caravan. You know, like, and if you're living that, that's fine, mate. But there's some of us, we just don't fit that mold. We were born for something different. And that's what this journey is about. It's about trusting that knowing inside me is more powerful than what all of that crap is that they're telling me how I should be. And the hardest part for a lot of people to step into this journey and step into this journey with all of you guys as well. Because as integral mentors, we're here to transform people as a whole, right? And whether you're bringing it to them in whatever element that you're bringing as the top of the mountain, they have to become a new person. That's scary. When you're positioning and saying, hey, come, like you can let go of that piece of driftwood and climb into this boat now. You don't have to be out there trying to figure yourself out. Like, you're safe. People are like, oh, I've known the driftwood for too long, right? I just know this. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, I feel out of integrity. Yes, I don't know if I really want to be here, but it's so scary to change. The biggest part, and you guys are going to find this as you move into more and more conversations, sales conversation. It is a sell. Life is a sell. I'm selling my son right now to blow his nose, because he's 3, instead of stucking it back and snorting it down. Cheeky little bugger. You know, and me and my wife are at this kid about, just blow it out, mate. Please, just blow it out. Like, what can I do? What can I do to get you to believe that blowing it out is going to be better, right? And we're on him constantly. It's a sell. Eat your veggies, mate. Please eat your veggies. It's a sell. I got to sell him on the idea, right? And so same, when we're in that conversation of getting somebody to commit to change their life, right? To jump into your coaching, to jump into your course. It's about them. It's not about you. It's about them backing themselves and going, fuck, this is scary, man. Like, I gotta grow more again. Like, I like growth and everyone sort of likes the idea of it, but then to do it and then to really do it, to go all in, that's scary. Who had some butterflies before you said yes to jumping in here with us, with me and us, right? Right? Oh, it's just everyone else was confident as anything. Oh, Helen's like, whatever, mate. I fight men in the boxing gym. This is nothing. I love the boxing stuff now. I'm all over it. Right. But for those, you know, for all of us, there's definitely that apprehension. Of course, there's that apprehension. It's like, whoa, okay, that's a big thing. You know, me, I've got to put myself out there. I've got to grow. Like, it's scary. So for all of us, when we're in that conversation, that sales conversation of getting that person to back themselves and believe in themselves enough, that's going to be the hardest part of this whole journey, is coming up against that and getting someone to really reflect and say, I can do this. I can do this. And that's all they need to do. Like, I can do this. And if it's just, I can just let go of the old world. And I'm just going to like believe that I can have it all, that I can stand in my power, you know, that I can be a woman of integrity, that I can let go of the old, you know, job that I've had for 20 years, Helen, right? And go into a new version of my life where I can actually design life how I want it, rather than just going along with everybody else, being one of the sheeple, right? Or whatever it is. And not to be condescending, but it sort of is. Like, I don't want that life and I don't want anyone in that life. So that self-belief piece that they have to acknowledge and say yes to jumping in, what I've found is the best way that you can get them to believe in themselves, and them being your future client, that person you're going to hold their hand and you're going to guide them to transform that person. The best way, what do you think the best way is when they're not sure? You ever had a mate hold your hand and jump off the cliff with you? Right? Like, or maybe even just give you a little nudge, right? It's giving them a little bit of self-belief that you have inside you. And you just take, and for those guys who've been with me, we take a little bit and we go, here you go. You can have a little bit of this. I believe in you enough that hopefully that's enough to get you over the edge, right? If you trust me and we have rapport, and rapport means that we're literally in harmonics, that we're in sync. So energetically, if like instruments are in rapport, they're vibrating together. So what we want to make sure that we're in rapport. And once we're in rapport, we can take a little bit of that self-love, that self-belief that we have in ourselves, and we can sort of like breathe it to life and then give it a little bit of fire to them, right? And then they can take it, but then it's up to them. They can either go, whoa, I can't do it. And then they eject from the call, they run away. You know, this happens. And you may even go through it yourself throughout this process. But if they take that little bit that you give them and they're willing to breathe into it as well, that self-belief will grow and they will take the step to transform. That's the hardest step. The hardest step is saying yes, right? Everything is based on a decision in life. As soon as we make that decision, the process itself is way easier. because the decision has been made. And the actual word to decide is to cut off all other options. It's from the same side as genocide or herbicide or suicide. It's side means to kill off. So to decide is to like delineate, is to box out, and everything else dies away. So once they decide, they're all in. As long as the environment supports them, that's what we're creating as transformational educators. The environment supports them. They are able to keep showing up and have the transformation. Okay. So the decision is where you need to breed that self-belief. So then it comes back to us as the leader. Speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. What do we need ample amounts of so we can give it out? What is it? Self-belief, right? Self-confidence. If you trace it back to its root, self-love. You guys with me? Self-love. If we love ourselves enough, thank you very much. If we love ourselves enough, from that spark, that seed, that root comes the self-belief. Man, I can do this. And even if it doesn't work, I love myself so much anyway. And from that self-belief comes that self-confidence. And that gets us to take action, right? That gets us to get out there and put ourselves out there and say, take my hand and come with me, that self-confidence. But there's a lot of people faking it. Instagram famous bullshit, right? Those that are awakening, see right through it. Don't even try and play the game. Just come back to what's real. Love is the essence of who we are. Agreed? You guys are with me on that, right? Marnie's even got it on a wall. She knows so much about it. Yes, right? So love is the essence of all. And self, and if you go back to the big S, self-love of who we really are, that's the seed. That's the consciousness that we get to come from. Again, to self-belief, and then self-confidence gets us to take action. We can, hello, pup. We can take some of that and we can feed it to somebody and get them to say yes, right? Get them to say yes. Because the crux of this whole process is when somebody says yes, your life changes. Not because they give you money, which they will, because they want the shortcut, the fast route. Hey, there's a big scary forest in front of you. You give me some money, I'll take you through the shortcut. Like, how much? Right? Like, I'll go with you, right? You're going to guide me? Perfect. Thank you very much. You know, like, you help me. Thank you. I've got this pain. Do you want me to pull it out for you? Could you? Oh, cool. There you go. I'll wrap it up for you. Thank you. How much? There you go. Right? They'll pay you. Great. But your life changes because now you get the momentum of having somebody coming with you. And I was just talking with James, James Sargent, if you're catching this, mate, love you. James, who is a friend, is looking at jumping in. Ladies, you'll love this man. He's a champion. And I don't know if he will or not. See how we go. But James's whole, where was I going with that? I just love James so much. I love you, bro. I just love connecting with strong men. I've got all the ladies here, and Pete's hiding. He's probably in his car. But I love connecting with strong women too, but like strong men, like brothers, look me in the eye and be like, I miss that, you know, I love that. I get it here every day, which is great. But anyway, so yeah, we were talking with James. Can't remember where I was going with that. And I'm just ranting again. I want to get back to you guys. Yeah, I'll take a breath on that one. So yeah, the deal about the self-belief. And then the last piece I'll say here, well, I'll pick up a strand and then I'll put it back to you, is you spoke about it, Veronica, about integrity. And as soon as it doesn't feel aligned, and everyone's like, no, you just keep doing it. You're really good at it now. You'll only make more money from here. As soon as it's not aligned, if we continue to do it, we are out of integrity. And as soon as we're out of integrity, we're out of alignment. We're out of everything. Integrity is what holds us together. And especially those that are willing to really be ourselves and not be the fake box and like, I've got the muscles because you've got to have the muscles, and I've got the fast car and the big business because that's what you got to have. I don't want to play that game. I'm not interested in that game. I'm interested in being all that I'm here to be. Yeah. So that as soon as it doesn't feel right, and I've done it way too many times in my life, maybe the perfect amount. As soon as it doesn't feel right, who's with me on this? I have to say, this doesn't feel right. And I will sit with it, right? I will sit with it. I'm not going to make a rash decision. I will sit with it, but I will trust my gut and I will go. And I'll leave the job. I'll leave the relationship. I'll leave the situation, the circumstance, whatever. And I'll be out there maybe alone for a while in the wilderness again, trying to figure out what's next. But I know I'm in integrity. Yeah, I'm in integrity. And that to me is the most important thing about our entire journey. That's why it's called an integral mentor. G'day, Eliza, beautiful woman, right? That's the journey. So I pieced that to you, and we've got a little bit more time here. I'd like to hear some other voices, But what comes up for you as I'm sharing, or Veronica sharing, or Marnie sharing?
Scotty, what comes up for me is so interesting. I've had sort of kind of the week from hell. I didn't get very many people who were sort of for this. I was going to do my webinar tonight, but it's everybody's busy with Christmas stuff and all the other shit came up again.
Okay.
And then it's been a fair sort of bit of stuff go down with the family, and in order for us to really be who we are and live the life that we've come here to live, my family and I, we kind of had to leave the family because it was so toxic.
Wow.
And I had a discussion with my mother yesterday, and we homeschool our 2 teenagers, and they're both really amazing entrepreneurs in their own right, and the little one's just flying along. And my mum's like, won't Jessica do year 12 next year and all of that? And I said, well, mum, what does year 12 mean anyway? What does it mean in our time? The matrix is broken. The time is over. She's a herbalist. She works with horses and does consulting. She teaches natural horsemanship, which is more like psychology, which is, and all these, she writes for magazines. She's an ambassador for one of Australia's big herbal companies. I said, look, she's like, it's a school of life. And, as long as, like, for me, she has to be enrolled in something and have a goal and have something that sort of can be measured, and that's part of her journey, part of her vision, how she wants to create a life. Like, that is it. So, when you talk about that indoctrination, like, that really, comes home. And, all my life, it's been this, even at school, like, my soul wasn't there, my heart wasn't there. I was very good at what I was doing, but it was this massive disconnection. And, at this time of sort of fading in and out. And, sometimes when family comes a bit closer, like my sister-in-law and her nearly 16-year-old daughter, we just took her in this week. They've escaped Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And it's just, and then sort of trusting in that. But it's like she spent, for end of the year, we gave our teenagers 2 days away at a beach house in Vella, which is sort of close to here. So it's the first time our teenagers have ever been away, and just a thing of trust and thank you, and trusting us to be the parents and the guardians of, where we think you sort of, where the light is for you and all of that. And my mum was like, wow, and aren't you scared? And all I said, well, mum, they know what drugs are, they know what alcohol is. We have very candid discussions, and it's just no way. They played board games and went for big walks and things like so. So it's been this sort of journey of this week of going, in my own personal mindset, the monkey mind, but also from the family, and it's sort of another level of letting go. And I can really take myself to that space now. Like, I'm so ready to do this damn webinar if I have people that actually show up and listen. So I'm definitely there.
Yep.
But then the other stuff, and everybody's busy, and it's just, so for me, it's really overcoming that, Scotty, because I just have so much passion and I'm so ready. But it's just that little, and for me, it's more than, it's the mechanics. Like, I really struggle with technology. And it's sort of getting confident and having the expertise that I can manage that, can handle that, to lock that piece in. And I think then it's, I will be flying.
Yeah, perfect. And thank you, darling. And massive respect with the family piece too. That's a big one. Just first on that, like, having to distance yourself sometimes from those that are going to keep cutting you down at the knees, even if they are family. And I think a lot of us have been through that journey, right? Like, having to make hard decisions.
Yeah. And Veronica, when you said, your family saying, oh, when, are you going to do another course? When are you going to start to work? When are you going to start to, and I've been on this journey of just freeing myself from those shackles that I've been so deeply held down by. And it's such an interesting time to be alive. And so for me, Scotty, it's about really, the next step is having the framework of the mechanics, and then having no more excuses, and the confidence. Look, I know what my message is. I know why I'm here to do what I'm here to do. And sort of just stepping in to that, feeling shitty and scared, but I've done it in my dreams about 3 times this week. So I just need to bloody do it.
Perfect. Well, let's you and I connect in after about the tech side of it with the webinar, because I haven't set you up with the webinar software. I didn't even realize.
No. And I was going to do Zoom, and I wasn't sure, and it was like it's all. And I had sort of 1.5 people, and I thought, nah, stuff that.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that's fine. We then move into phase 2, which is the organic lead generation, and then getting them on the phone. So we do a launch. We get as many people as we can. Sounds like there was a few excuses there, but now all of those people that you've connected with, we're going to go to them one-on-one and start having conversations.
Yeah, cool.
So that's the next phase. So you got leads. They didn't come to webinar, but now we're going to go and just grind it out one-on-one. And it's not a grind. It's actually really beautiful. It's just connecting with people.
You know, and I actually love, I've discovered I love selling. I've been sort of, practicing my elevator speech on the, out in the supermarket, and when people ask, what do you do? And just getting as sort of, curly and making it really beautiful and voluptuous, and just really having fun with that. So yeah, that's sort of it's the tech aspects. Thanks for that, Wendy. That's really lovely. I'm just having a look at the notes. That's beautiful. I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. And let's you and I connect in as well about that.
Yeah, and it's just got to be, just bulletproof. Even if someone sets it up for me or something, Scotty, like it's such a little thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And if that holds me back, I would be really upset.
Yeah, no, we'll get that done. And I've already got that webinar software there for you. We should have set this up on Thursday. I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah.
Were you on the call?
I was just ready to. Yeah. I was there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't do it then. All right, so we'll get that set up. We'll get that sorted. We'll just get you into conversations.
Yeah, sounds good. And just practicing that muscle, and that's the next step. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. I love the being in the field with you gardening too.
Yeah, my potato patch. Look at these babies.
Ooh, coming along.
I've got the most panoramic vegetable garden in the world. Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Life's tougher on the farm. Just got to make some money to pay for it all now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you never have to leave it.
No, I could send you all some vegetables. Wendy, you're close. I'll do a home delivery. How's that?
Totally. That is beautiful.
Yeah. All right, I'd let someone else share. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, darling. All right, guys. So again, for those guys coming in late, g'day, Craig. Good to see you. No, it's just Craig. How are you, mate? Nice haircut. So yeah, we're talking mindset. We're talking to this, being in integrity, following intuition, being in our hearts rather than living in our heads all the time, showing up and getting it done. We've got to get stuff done, but we're doing it from a place of integrity with who we really are. And that allows us to then have more energy to do what we're here to do. Right? That's the biggest thing. And like on Tora's point here, we have to lean into sharing our message as much as possible. She's hitting up people in the supermarket, right? I'm not recommending necessarily hitting up people in the supermarket, but like on social media, because the leverage is there, like one-on-one, if you got to, on social media, getting out there and just with that alignment, going for it. I keep talking about being on a mission, right? Being on a mission. I was refer to my conversation before, James again, I was talking to James, saying, once we know what our mission is, what we're here to do, and we have that message that we're here to bring, right? We're all messengers. We've been through the mess to get a message, and you got to lean into that and just scream it from the rooftop so people know what you're all about, right? Like every day getting out there, just producing content from that place of being on a mission. That's what people are attracted to. Like you see the big guys out there, every day there's a podcast, or every week at least, every day there's stuff out there that's sharing and it's aligned with their mission. And again, we're a bit like this, right? But the goal, the destination is pure. If you guys can all recognize that in your life, right? The destination is pure. You know where you're going. So showing up and sharing this message, this mess to message has to become a ritual. It has to become a habit. It just has to be a way of life. And I think how I've built, for you guys who've been around me for a while, is how I've built a lot of my audience is I share the mess. as well as the message. Like a lot of you guys know just stuff about me that most people would never share, would never share on social media. And I'm just being myself, letting it all hang out there. And I would encourage you to do the same, right? Don't just make it all about, business and business and business and business, which you don't. That can work for sure, but let people in behind the curtains. That's what social media allows us to do. It's not just the front of the house, it's everything that's going on behind as well. So let people in and let them into your heart. Let them into who you really are, into your soul. Like, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is the women that I help. This is the men that I help. This is the people that I help. And this is how I help them. And here's why. Because I've been through this shit, or I'm struggling with that, or I've had these things happen in my life, right? And I can relate to you, and what you've gone through. I get it. I've been there. It's hard. It's still hard sometimes, right? And come with me. Exactly, Wendy. Vulnerability creates connection and opens them up. Being real is so powerful. Exactly. And this is exactly where social media is guiding us to. So I guess, if everything is dualistic, our weakness per se is that we are living very emotional, vulnerable lives, right? Compared to the more crush, kill and destroy, alpha male business, right, type of mindset, that old world logic, this is just how you got to do it. We are living that, but that can be our strength as well. Now, again, Tora's point was saying, I need the mechanics. That's where that structure comes in, right? That's where that just like, if you have a fire and you just light a fire in the grass, the fire goes, gone, right? Same amount of material, but you pack it into one place with rocks around it, call it a campfire, or, and you light it, the fire burns bright for a long time, and you can cook on it and you can warm by it. So you need the structure. The light has to have the structure. So that's very much where we're at as well, is that structure is, how are you connecting with your audience? How are you getting them into conversations? Now, the first conversation, and this is more Thursday talk because today's Mindset Monday, but it's very much about that launch. What does the launch look like? Getting them into that webinar. Now, if you've got a big audience, you can get them in there. And if your marketing message is strong, you can get them in there. If you can't, that's okay. Then we go on to the second strategy. How do I get them into a conversation? What do I do in Messenger, right? What do I do on the phone? Am I sending them a video? Great, depending on their conversations. Am I going straight to a phone call? Great, depending on your ability to articulate and sell, right? That's why, for those guys that have been here, you need the container, exactly. The cauldron, she says. Okay, an alchemical container to cook and create change. Oh, I like that. The wizardry, yeah, exactly. The wizardry is coming through. Beautiful. Love that, Wendy. The cauldron, you need the container, right? You need the place for the magic. But this is all structure, and that structure is very, very important. And so that's really important as well. And again, for those guys that have been here for a while, this is where we're moving. I think we lingered a little bit too much on the 80%, which is the framework, the mindset and the steps and the top of the mountain. But as we're moving forward, this is where we're going, is creating that structure. It's more of that masculine dominated energy, right? The feminine energy is more of the, who am I? What's inside me? What's this energy coming through? Then the masculine is, how do I then create that physically with a structure, with 4 walls and a roof so that it can support me? And that's the next phase here. And especially where you're at, Tora, right? It's like, just tell me how to do it, right? What's the walls look like? What's the framework? There's another level of discomfort in that as well. Okay. And I tell you, I keep telling you the whole way, you will be discomfort. Like, there is discomfort in growth. This is part of the journey. So reaching out, connecting, jumping onto phone calls, selling your passion, selling your promise, getting out there and saying, take my hand, here's some self-belief, come with me. Thanks for the money. Let's go. Right. Massive comfort zone stretch. That's the next step for a lot of you guys, right? That's the next step. And some may be like, no problems, I can do that. You can, until you're in the field, right? Until you're bloody. It's like, I'm reading one of those books. This is my book of heroic fantasy. Love it. Gets me inspired. And this guy's talking about, when you're practicing with wooden swords, how different is it to them when you practice with live swords and it's an actual battle? And sorry, it's like a man's heroic fantasy thing, but actual battle. The moves are the same, but the emotion and the energy is so different. And so we're going to practice, but then being on the field of action, that's where, that's where it gets real. That's where it's going to be, emotionally uncomfortable. And again, growth is uncomfortable. Growth has to be uncomfortable. That's part of the process. I'm going with Wendy's little one-liners here. Life is an initiation. It's the soul polishing that our soul calls us in here to evolve. Cool. Definitely. An initiation. For what? Hey guys, we got another 4 minutes and we're going to get out of here. What else comes up for you? And even Wendy, if you want to share more about what you're saying there, but what comes up to you? So we're talking about making sure you're not spiraling down with the comparison of, I wish I had it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. That's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. The future knows more than the past. Trust and move forward. Okay. Trust and move forward. Take steps. All right. And especially for you guys that are just starting. And as we're getting in, and we're all sort of just starting, but as you're getting into this, you just got to go for it. You just got to take action. You don't have to have it all figured out. Okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. And then again, that piece that Veronica brought around integrity. And the reason our path meanders is because we are actually staying in integrity, and it's not about being out of integrity by leaving something that wasn't aligned with us anymore. Right? That's actually a part of integrity. Trust the path one step at a time. Exactly. Craigie, you came off there, mate. Did you want to, or Wendy? All right, you're up.
Yeah. So life is an initiation that, it's not about that being still and like doing the 9-to-5 job. It's a continual spiral, and our soul is calling us to those challenges. We actually create them for what I call soul polishing. So it's like, oh, this needs to be polished, this needs changing. And so we be drawn into a challenge or an initiation because we need to be put into the alchemical container and cooked.
Yeah, totally.
So that's what I was talking about.
I like it. I get the piece about polishing now. It's like that precious stone constantly being polished to bring out its beauty. I love that. Craigie?
Yeah, what's alive in me at the moment? Last few days I've been having to practice what I'm preaching at the moment. I've been wiped out due to another jab, and I've been checking in with the Tony Robbins stuff, with story, state, and strategy on how to do these slides, and I'm slowly progressing. So my mind, it's more the war in my mind of which way to go. So I've just been looping that story, state, story, and strategy. So I've settled on a strategy. I've gone down the keynote route for simplicity, and I'm working my way through that.
Awesome, mate. God, you've trimmed down so much, eh? You look really good without a beard too.
I'm borderlining nearly 20 kilos. I'm busting my ass to get over 20 kgs. It's
20 kilos off. That's incredible, mate. In 75 days, I guess. It's 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Mate, you look fantastic. Yeah, keep it clean shaven too. Just saying. Looks good. Right, ladies? Right? Good on you, Craig. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, Tony's story state strategy is huge. Like, it gives you that very simple structure of how to create life every day, right? You won't get into Tony's work, but yeah, very, very cool. Tony is a master.
I've done a bit of Tony's work. I haven't dabbled in too deep, but I've bought all these books and things like that. So
bought them sitting on the shelf, or you're reading them?
I've read them.
Cool.
I've done a lot of his NAC work over the years.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, Tony's huge. Tony started this whole journey for us, right? At least popularizing and taking it to the mainstream. I mean, even his mentor was out there doing it, but Tony really blew it up for us. All right, guys, we're going to wrap. This is Mindset Monday. So this is looking at, and this is only the second one we've done. So this is more, it's, Tuesdays and Thursdays we do the actual business coaching, but today is just looking at this piece around, what is the mind really? Like, what is the mind? It creates so much beauty and so much havoc in our lives. Agreed? right? Like it can be amazing one day and then terrible the next. And it's either we are winning because of it or we're being held back by it. So having a dedicated day, I felt, was really important just to tackle these ideas that come up. What are the thoughts that are dominating? And I want to open this up as we get into it. I know this has been more teaching, but open this up and actually work with you guys to come with a full heart and openly say, like, I'm struggling, or I need help with this, or what do I do about that, or what's going on? And then we can get in there and support you with that, because we're all here to help each other. Okay. Which is why I keep saying, open it up, please share your voice. Like, let's help each other. We've all got we're all leaders here. We've got different insights. So I really see that's where this Mindset Mondays can go. It's just a place where you can come, a circle where you can come and commit to mastery of your own self, right? Because the mind is more than just contained in the brain. It is a part of the energetic field that we're living. It's part of who we are, and we have to work with it. We have to empower it. There's just so much that you can't say about it, right? Like even the words I'm saying is like, what am I saying that would even, it's like 0.01% of what we actually know and understand about what the mind is, right? Like we used to think, oh, the mind is here. No, we don't. It's not there, right? What is it? How are we working with it? How do we impact it? And we know there's some things that make it worse and some things that make it better. And so this is an exploration into all of that. So I hope this adds value to you guys. And I will see Alpha tomorrow, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Everyone else on Thursday, and Alpha as well. Come have fun with your accountability dates. Anyone done a coffee date for an accountability buddy yet? And the newbies, yeah. Oh, you're catching up, cool. Or a mentor.
2 coming up.
2 coming up. Oh, I got them scheduled in. Very nice, very nice. So, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you reach out and connect. Got some beautiful people in here. Beautiful people. We're very blessed. We are very blessed. All right, have fun, guys. I love you very much. Come off mute. Say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Laura, keep saying goodbye.
Thanks, Scotty.
Cheers, guys. Tora, I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Yep, I will. Thanks, Scotty.
Love you, darling. Cheers. Bye. Have fun. Love you heaps. Look, if you like this and you're interested in learning more about becoming an integral mentor, joining forces with these beautiful people, send me a message or comment more info below and I'll reach out to you. But just send me a message. Let's have a chat. Love you heaps. Have fun. I'll see you soon. Cheers.